So when I was like 19, I had a Native American girlfriend. I think she was 29. Um, we were together for about a year. Um, eventually, um, her ex-boyfriend was moving back from New York. He was a handsome black fella. And so she told me, my ex is moving back and me and you were done. And, I was a little unhappy about that. And so we ended up breaking up, and about a month later, I got a call from her cousin telling me that she was pregnant, that my ex was pregnant, and that it was my baby. And I wanted, well, I was still upset about breaking up and everything. But she and her boyfriend, they wanted to have the baby and raise him as their own. So, uh, you know, on the birth certificate, handsome black fellow was the father on the birth certificate. Um, and so there was nothing I could do. Um, I don't think, I mean, I put my 2 cents, you know, on it, but you can't just order a paternity test if the mother doesn't want it to happen, and the father is. I'm not on the birth certificate, so I don't have any say. Um, so they raised him as their own, and he was a good father to and they ended up having a couple other children too. So he was father of 3 children. One of them is like, um, uh, one of them was mine. The oldest one was mine. It wasn't anything I could really do, but not that I have much to offer. Um, he ended up passing away. The boyfriend, the father, he ended up passing away. The handsome black guy, and I saw that on Facebook. This was a few years back, 5 years plus ago. My ex, I saw her post a thing that said, I don't know what we're gonna do for Thanksgiving because handsome black fella was the one that always did the meals, the holiday specials. And I jumped on the opportunity. I piped right in. I said, it's tradition in my family to, she was mourning still for their loss. And I told her it's a tradition in my family to cook a meal for someone that's just lost a loved one. And I told her that I wanted to cook them their Thanksgiving meal. The turkey, pumpkin pie, stuffing, homemade bread. My dad made the pumpkin pie and the homemade bread, and I did the turkey. And I told her I wanted to deliver it. My sister even helped. She made one of those, what's it called, like green bean casseroles. I told her I wanted to deliver this meal because I wanted to see my son. Now, she's very strict about, she doesn't want. It's her decision, and I never went against her after I went my distance and what I could do legally or whatever, and there wasn't much I could do. But I wanted to see him, just with my own eyes. Didn't have to say anything to him. So I delivered them their Thanksgiving meal during that time of crisis. And I got to see my son in person for the first time, and of course, it was just an awkward thing. I just delivered the meal and then I left. Um, and then, like some other things happened a couple years later where the kids, they had to be like living with, their uncles because there was some things going on with my ex. She was doing her, she was in a program, and those kids didn't have their mom or their dad with them anymore. For a holiday season, it was Christmas. This was actually back whenever those stimulus checks went out. Okay, so I had suddenly got these stimulus money that I didn't earn. Everyone got a whole bunch of money, right? I actually collected mine way later than everybody else because I didn't sign up for them because I thought it was kind of stupid. But I went ahead and I got the notice that you better, collect this money now before it's too late. And so I went ahead and did the late collection. And so I decided for that Christmas that I was going to buy those kids a bunch of Christmas presents since they didn't have their parents with them. And I delivered them. And I put on the Christmas presents from Mom. And I delivered them so I could see the kids just with my own eyes. Eventually their grandma passed away, and I used to know her when I was with my ex. And so I felt compelled to go to her funeral, and I got to see my son again with my own eyes. And I just sat in the back corner, and I just, I respected them and their family and their choices. And like some things you can't change, and some things are supposed to be a certain way, I guess. But if ever his mom tells him that his dad wasn't a handsome black fella, and he finds out who his dad really was, maybe he'll remember me whenever I delivered them a meal and brought some Christmas presents, and I was also at his grandma's funeral. And so that's the way I if everyone was patient and caring and kind, I think this would be a lot better world, instead of living from their emotions, like they feel entitled to act out a certain way or to cause certain types of trouble. That seems to be rampant in our country. But that's a lesson, I think. I don't know how to say it, but I think that hard stuff. I think if everyone knew how to take that type of hard stuff and process it, I think people would be better.